awkward when this setup. Hey everybody, we're actually physically here together this time. Usually we're on Zoom together.
Yep.
So it's nice to see you face to face. Finally here.
Yeah.
Want to welcome everybody to today's live stream. We have a new special guest here, Llewellyn, who is our Big Lake Lending mortgage broker,
Loan rep,
whatever you want to call him. And we've kind of been taking Luke all over the place. We were in Granville yesterday. We were in Kalamazoo. This morning we'll be in Muskegon tomorrow morning.
Yep.
But we understand that not everybody can get out to meet Luke, so we wanted to go live with you guys and just talk a little bit about what we're doing with Big Lake Lending, why we're doing it, who Luke is, what his history is, and what our goals with launching this little venture are. So, Greg, why don't you give us like a rundown of
the why?
The why.
So, as all of you know, that over the years we have worked really hard to keep costs down. And we believe it has worked. We've been able to be profitable, although, it continues to get squeezed. Brokerages all over are seeing their numbers come down, and inflation has been kind of hard on us as well. So, of course, we're looking for other streams of revenue. And, what we did years ago was we opened up Star Title back in 2021. And
2021?
2001.
Okay, yeah, I got to keep you honest.
A little bit of a slip there. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I had an early morning. Anyway, so for about 21, 22 years now, we've been operating Star Title, and we have shared the profits from that company with agents that wanted to join. And so it's been a win-win, and it's also helped us keep our cost in check. Otherwise, there'd be this continuous upward pressure on trying to find more revenue sources from the agents.
You were kind of saying earlier that the agents retain at 5-star on average around 91% of all the dollars coming in.
Yeah, we're somewhere in that. and again, on average. So there's some that some of the agents that are at the very top end of things probably are maybe paying 2%.
Yeah,
they're keeping 98, and then some of the agents that are on the lower side are probably maybe paying 15 to 18%.
Yep.
And but still, in the overall picture, these numbers are numbers that did not exist before we started 5-star.
But what that leaves us with is about 9% or so.
To pay 9% is left to pay the expenses of 23 offices, 30 staff, copy machines everywhere, and so the profit is it's a thin margin.
Yeah.
And so most brokers of any size in the U.S. are adding mortgage, casualty insurance, home warranties, property management, and currently all we have had is title. So mortgage is our next venture, and I'm thinking, do you want to go to Luke, or do you want to tell how we found Luke?
So, well, obviously we've been looking at mortgage for a long time. We have a lot of people that we consult with that have often said, hey, what about mortgage? And we've just sort of stayed away from it up until now. But we began looking into mortgage when probably sometime during COVID, we started looking into it really intentionally, and we started looking around, and we were watching inflation starting to trickle in this way too, and we don't want to raise the fees at 5-star if we don't have to, so we want to try and find ways to bring more revenue streams in. And we started looking around. We actually met with several of them. We interviewed quite a few of these companies that help brokerages launch mortgage companies. And we were pretty close with one company, but then we kind of wanted to do some more due diligence. We ran into Movement Mortgage, Movement JV, and that's the company we are affiliated with. And we were absolutely blown away by just the professionalism of the organization. I think the number that I heard was that they do about $70 billion in loans. $70 billion.
And 5-star did $2 billion.
We did $2 billion in sales, and you guys did $70 billion in loan origination.
Yeah.
$70 billion. So we wanted to partner with a company that we thought could scale to the size that we might need to go to, We wanted to be with a company that's able to do a lot of, consistently do a lot of work and do it well. And you guys are a growing company, so we wanted to partner with a good company. And that's how we met Luke. Luke was with Movement JV over there in Virginia. Was it Virginia Beach? What's the?
Yeah, that's where we are. The Movement Mortgage headquarters in South Carolina.
Yep.
So.
And we've been nothing but impressed with the operation so far. And so, Luke, you flew out here to come hang out with us, and I'll let you introduce yourself now. Give us some of your history. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I will start off by saying I have been so impressed by what you guys are doing, and just the culture that you have built, and how people speak about you in front of you and behind you. You know, because you really see what people think about you when they talk about you when you're not in the room. And all I've heard is just so much respect, so much honor, which is really cool to join, forces with Big Lake Lending and 5 Star at this time. So my name is Luke Llewellyn. I've been in the mortgage business for about 7 years. I was a loan processor for many years, and kind of got to see the back end of what a loan looks like from the beginning to the end, and got to field those questions from underwriters that are really hard. And how do underwriters like stuff? What do they want to see come from a loan originator, and really walk through that. And then for the past just over a year, I've been originating loans and focusing on this side of the business, and doing it through this joint venture model, which really works and works well. And I think it kind of gives you a leg up in a way, because you guys are partners with us, and you get to speak into what I do. So you have your agent's best interest in mind, and you want to see this go well. So it's almost like when it comes to the originating, agents have more skin in the game and more ability to help control and have influence on this process, which is really cool.
So the interesting part about this is that we had a choice where we could bring what they would call in-market people to help us. And we have chosen to go virtual to start this venture out. And we know that young people don't have an issue with this.
No.
People my age might have an issue, might be a little bit harder on them because they're not going to sit face to face. But we believe that you and Paul can put this thing together in a way that we can make this very comfortable.
Well, because you live on the coast, so you won't be here, boots on the ground in West Michigan. We'll fly you back for for a Christmas party or whatever. We'll have you back for different types of meetings, things like that. But you will be Zoom, phone call, email, cell phone, text messaging, whatever someone wants. You'll do it.
So a typical realtor experience with you would be they call you, or they give their client your number, your contact info, and are they going to talk with you, or are they going to talk with a machine, or what's going to happen?
No, they're going to talk with me. Every time they call Big Lake Lending, I'm going to answer the phone. Okay, Big Lake Luke, if you need a call sign out there. But right when they call, it's going to be me, and I'm going to walk them from the first moment all the way through to a close. It's not a pass-off moment. It's not I'm the face and then I hand it off to a bunch of other people. No, it's when you call Big Lake, you're going to deal with Luke, and I'm going to take you through the process every step of the way, and be communicating, with your agent and our home.
So you're not working for like 24 different mortgage companies.
No, I work directly with 5 Star, and that is the only office I'm.
All right. So Friday, 8 o'clock, agent, 8 p.m. Calls. They need pre-approval. They're going to present either later that night or the first thing in the morning. What's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm going to pick up the phone when they call the first time, hopefully. If not, I'm going to call them back immediately. And I can get them a pre-qual in the same day. So what I would need for a pre-qual is just reach back out to the home buyer, who we would call the borrower. I'm going to get a couple documents, pull credit, get their income asset documents. As quickly as they can get those back to me and I can review them, then I can get a pre-qual out. Given that they qualify, of course, because we wouldn't want to issue a pre-qual that I'm not willing to stand on. And kind of like I said with my time in operations, I know what the underwriter is looking for. I've done it, I've seen it, I've pushed all that stuff through. So it gives me an advantage when I can do a pre-qual. I can do a pretty dang good pre-qual and make sure that the agent is taking something to the listing agent or the seller that they're gonna like to see.
So next question would be, somebody needs a fast close, they've got a perfect ideal buyer, they get all their documents back to you immediately. What's probably the quickest you could get a deal to a closing?
Yeah, so we do have a 7-day process that is out there. So it's that, I mean, with the 7-day process, you need a lot to happen in that 7 days if you're ordering appraisal, unless you get an appraisal waiver. But the process can be done in 7 days from start to finish. And that's the quickest that any lender could do it with the guidelines that are given. But more of a standard, I mean, if it's a quick close and we have 2 weeks and it's really clean and we're ordering appraisal, no issue.
So obviously we're in a time of an upward push on interest rates. And so there's some price sensitivity out there right now. And I'm going to guess there was even price sensitivity back when it was 3% or 3.25 because somebody was always going to try to beat somebody else based on interest rates. Agents, of course, have their friends they've developed over the years maybe. They've got relationships with people. And so how do you, when you look at this, what are you kind of thinking, like, you're just asking basically for some of these agents to give you a chance. Give us an opportunity to quote, talk to us, and let us compete, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's it. If there's a lot of trust that comes from an agent when talking with a new broker or a new lender, because their commission is on the line when it comes to talking to a lender. If the lender does a good job, the house closes, everyone's happy. And what we're asking is, give us a chance, whether that be competing with somebody else or just stand alone. And if you bring us, hey, this is the rate that we got quoted, do you think you can beat this rate? I'm confident we can beat that rate. And you give us that chance and let us, walk your home buyer through the process, walk you through the process, and I think we can impress them.
We had a question earlier in Kalamazoo. Someone said, hey, I don't know you, the name Big Lake Lending is new, and Luke, I'm just meeting you for the first time. But then again, like, I'm competing against this person over here who's got a very well-known lender in the area on the other end of the transaction. How am I going to overcome an obstacle? Who's this Luke? Who's Luke Llewellyn? Who's Big Lake Luke? What's your answer to that? How do we overcome that?
Yeah, totally. I think it starts with good communication from me, that when I get something to turn around on a pre-qual, that I can reach out to the listing agent and I will call the seller's agent to begin that bond. And then they also, I mean, yes, it's a new name, but it really is partnered with 5 Star in your guys' name. So it's not a brand new machine. It's respectable, and movement's been around for years and years. Close $7 billion. You did something along the way when it comes to lending, right? So it's not a new name. It's not a startup from the ground. The lenders that we will be using are reputable lenders that get deals done and close loans on time.
Earlier you mentioned a couple of names of lenders that you would get money from, like, what was it, Caliber,
Home Point, Movement, UMW,
United Wholesale.
Okay. I think that'll go a long way, a conversation to put a name to a voice, to a face, to a transaction.
And then, a couple of deals go by. We do a great job with the deals. We're competitive. They're looking for our name on those pre-quals. So that's really like an entry-level thing that maybe, something like you mentioned, that sometimes companies that we know they don't trust, they accept the offers. So just that little extra mile communication, just that little extra mile of doing the work up front, it's going to change that whole mindset.
So what I would like to say to the agent community is that we've done our due diligence here, and we were out looking for people that we felt were culturally consistent with who we are. I hope that even in this short little moment here, you can catch a glimpse of the culture that exists here between us already. We feel extremely comfortable with Luke and his, the owners of his company, and who we've spent months with. I mean, this started
We've been doing this. We've been having this conversation.
8 months,
Yeah,
a year.
yeah, probably started sometime in January.
So we've done a ton of work here to find the right people and who offer the right people, like Luke, who is very comfortable. I'm sure that your clients would be very comfortable with him, and he understands how important the relationships are. He understands your relationship, how important that client is to you, and he needs to take care of that and make sure that he does a great job. And at the same time, we understand price sensitivity. And so, kind of philosophically, I don't know if you can wrap that up nice and neat, but from what we've talked about over the last couple of days, how are you going to approach this rate thing when you're talking with an agent or their client?
Yeah, with the client, so the first question you'll typically get is, what is the rate? What's today's rate? And now that's not the end-all be-all question, because it's more about what is a comfortable payment that we can get this home buyer in that fits their needs and fits what they're looking for. So yeah, rate is a big factor of that, of course it is, but there's so many more factors where we can save them money on that monthly payment and be competitive with the rate at the same time. So I think the question that people really are asking when they ask what's the rate is, how much am I going to pay a month? How much is this going to cost me? And that's a question we can dive into, and we can look at okay, well, this is everything that goes into your payment. Let's see where we can save you as much money as possible to make this monthly payment fit your budget, and to make this monthly payment beat the competitor as well.
Excellent.
Let's offer the best thing that we can, and dial it into a package for you that's going to fit, and it can fit you if you want to stay there for 30 years. If you want to stay in the house for this, you can carry this. And
I've had clients do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, annually you see, 18 transactions over a lifetime, so historically maybe not 30 years, but people do it, and you want to set them up for that.
I've got some clients that it's been about 3.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, I need some more movement here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's kind of the answer to the question, but it's not the direct answer to the question.
Yeah. So, married, children?
Yeah, I've been married for 10 years to my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
And I got 2 kids, a 5-year-old son named Levi and a 2-year-old son named Jude. So
Okay.
it's wild, a lot of wrestling matches.
Yep. And you are a soccer nut.
Yeah, played soccer my whole life.
Okay.
A little bit in college, wasn't great, realized that pretty quickly. So now probably my most important soccer position now is the coach of the U6 boys soccer team.
Nice.
Yeah, so my son, it's basically trying to keep them running in the same direction and not pick up too many flowers or something. It's like, hey, get the goal, there.
Sure.
But it's fun. It's a lot of freeze tag, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
So, kind of bringing us to a close, I think, Paul and the marketing design team are working on doing some videos, creating some information to get out to the agents. We'll be getting out Luke's contact information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And Luke, we're going to be in Muskegon tomorrow, so
we're ready to roll. We can Luke can do a loan now. We're licensed.
Yep.
It's all official.
Yep.
So tomorrow, somebody gets a buyer, get a hold of us, and Luke,
run us up against another pre-approval. It'd be fun to compare them, and give us a shot. We'd love to try and earn your business.
So any final thoughts, words? Are we good?
Yeah, I think we want to say thank you for the opportunity, and thank you guys in advance for trusting me and giving me a shot. And we're gonna do a really, really good job with anybody that you put in our care.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
See you later.
Talk to you soon.
Have a great day.